Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. You see me repping my merch? Yeah, you see it. It's going to be coming soon, kind of, maybe. I'm still working on it. Don't worry. I will let you guys know once it's officially out. But anyway, that's not why we're here today. Today, I'm excited because we're reacting to this new trailer. When I tell y'all it just dropped today, precisely 12 hours ago, and I'm like, oh, we're reacting to this. I wanted to watch it, but I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because I want to film it for you guys. I wanted to do the reaction, so that's what we're gonna do today. It is a movie called The Front Room, a horror movie, and it's starring Miss Brandy Norwood. Let me say that again. It's starring Miss Brandy Norwood. Yep. Give it up for my girl Brandy. And before we even get into this, um, let me know in the comments. Please confirm to me that you guys know who Brandy is. I feel like my audience, the people that actually watch my videos that are subscribed to my channel, I feel like the majority of you guys are my age or older. So I feel like they have to know who Brandy is or know of Brandy at least. But the reason why I'm asking that is because Ariana Grande dropped a new video recently called The Boy Is Mine, right? And in the video, Brandy and Monica made a cameo. And I like watching other people's reactions. Like I like watching people react to films and music videos and things like that. And so when I tell you almost every reaction I watched, people were like, "Who is that?" People are like, "Oh, is that?" People thought I don't know why people thought Monica was Lala, I guess, because they were like, "Oh, that looks like Lala." And I'm like, I'm like, why would Lala be in Ariana Grande's video? Anyway, so I was like, are y'all for real right now? Like, y'all don't know who Brandy and Monica is? The original singers of The Boy Is Mine. Now, granted, Ariana's version of it is very different. But clearly, like, she had them in a video, to, like, pay homage and because it's just iconic to have first of all, these 2 have a long history, and it's a whole thing. I'm not gonna get into that because that's not the point of this video. But so many people are like, "Who is that?" Like, some people were like, "Oh, that's Brandy," but I don't know who the other girl is, which is kinda like, "What?" But the people who didn't even know who Brandy was, like, so many people, and they weren't, like, super, super young. Like, these were, like, people in their 20s that were like, "Oh, I don't know who those girls are. I don't know who that is." And I'm like, "Y'all don't know who Miss Brandy is? Are you serious?" So I need to know. Please let me know in the comments that y'all know who Brandy is. Then maybe you'll realize why I'm so excited about this. So part of the reason why I'm excited outside of it just being Brandy is because this is like they're calling this like the return for her, like the return to horror for Brandy. And if you know, you know, but I'll tell you for people who don't know. So Brandy was in the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think it was called I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and it came out about 1998 with Jennifer Love Hewitt. And yeah, so that was like I'm sure it was a big deal back then, and looking back on it now, it's like, "Oh, wow, that was so iconic that Brandy was in that movie." And I feel like anytime you saw, like, an artist or, like, a well-known singer in a horror movie back then, like, in the '90s or the early 2000s, I feel like it was, like, a really cool thing to see. I don't know if they really do that as much now, but I feel like back then that was really cool, and I don't know if she had really, um, done any other horror projects. I feel like me and so many other people remember her being on TV. We remember her as Moesha. That was something like me and my sister were super obsessed with growing up. So um, I feel like that's the only like really like horror movie that I remember her in. Correct me if I'm wrong. She could have done some other things and maybe I just didn't see it. But yeah, so like obviously most people know her from singing. She's done acting, of course, and she was also recently in a TV show called Queens that I really liked. Now that was like more of a music show. It was like she was a part of this girl group and they were like singing and rapping and stuff like that. And Eve was in it as well, but it got canceled. So unfortunately, it's not on cable anymore. I'm sure you could find it somewhere, but that was kinda like the last thing I was actively watching her in. I feel like there was another movie that recently came out, maybe on Netflix or something like that, but this just feels like a bigger deal. I don't know, and I'm excited to react to the trailer. So I have no idea what this movie is about other than that it is a horror movie and that it's coming from A24, and A24 is usually, like, more of, like, indie movies. It's not usually like big mainstream blockbuster movies, but I feel like A24 is kind of built up such a reputation, and it's kind of so popular now that it almost is a little mainstream. I don't know, but so I feel like we're in good hands with it being A24. Now I'm not familiar with who the director is or anything like that or what it's about, so I guess we're just going to find that out when we watch it. But before I jump into this reaction, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out when I upload, and make sure to like this video if you're a fan of Brandy, or if you're a fan of horror movie or trailer reactions, or if you're just a fan of my channel. I appreciate it.
Babe, my dad is dead.
Your father's final request was he wants you to take your mother into your home.
I'm willing to give you all the money I got.
Hold up.
Money.
Never hear me.
What was that?
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.
That was what? That was supposed to be a person, or is that his mom? First of all, she married to a white man, so you already know about the. You already know there's about to be some mess, okay? And that's like no shade at all, but like, run it back.
All the money I got. We can pay off the house with that money.
Never hear me is telling me to run away.
Welcome home, Solange.
Oh, what's in there?
Yeah, that's the nursery.
It's my room now.
Oh God, and she's pregnant.
I realize I do not know my granddaughter's name.
We're gonna name her Fern.
Not a plant you got growing in there? No. Used to be parents understood names gotta have power. Your father, what was his name?
I didn't know him really well.
Call that a broken family.
What the hell?
She thinks that the Holy Spirit possesses her and gives her power.
Oh Lord,
I can't practice my face.
he's the devil.
Not like I used to.
You're gonna tell me?
Have I offended you?
Holy shit. Your stepmother is literally evil.
Do you fear the Lord?
No.
Fear me.
She said that you hit her.
You know what?
She wants you to think it was me. She wants to replace me. I am her mother.
Oh, no, yeah. Hey, oh, no, yeah.
This is my house. Being cooped up with a newborn and a mother-in-law can drive anyone crazy.
Help me, Belinda.
My name is Belinda. Belinda.
As soon as they showed her, like with the whole black veil and the way she was moving and stuff. I mean, I know she's like old and stuff, but it was just like that silhouette was already given demonic from the start. Like I should have known. I didn't know like what type of like horror this was gonna be. So okay, clearly it's like demonic and probably like psychological and all that stuff, but doing too much already. And the fact that we can already see like where this is gonna go. I mean, I don't know. I can't predict exactly what's gonna happen, but like just from what they were showing in the trailer, like clearly like the guy's gonna be like, you know, probably kind of taking up for his mom or thinking that Brandy is doing something when she's not. And oh my goodness, Lord have mercy. I mean, it definitely looks interesting. Like I definitely want to see it. I don't know about y'all. Y'all let me know like what you think. Does it look scary? Does it look interesting at all? I know there's so many people now that when horror movie trailers come out, people are like, oh, it doesn't look that scary, or I've seen conversations where people are like, horror movies aren't really that scary anymore, or it doesn't really get me anymore. And part of that is I feel like part of that is because so many of us, including myself, have become desensitized over the years because there's so much that they've shown on TV now, things that they didn't used to show like when we were younger and like in previous generations. And now we've seen all of that. Like we've been exposed to so much. And obviously I'm going to sound old, but because we all have phones and we have 24/7 access to all of it, now it's just kind of like when we do see horrific things, whether it's real or fake, it's something that we kind of like at first we're like, oh my God, that's crazy or that's so scary. And then we kind of like brush it off and we're on to the next thing. And so I feel like that's part of the reason why so many people are like, oh, scary movies, they're not even really scary. It's like, well, it is creepy, but like I think just mentally we're like we've seen worse, which is which is not a good thing. But then the other part of it maybe is too because and I had a conversation about this with Martin Casella, which was one of my guests in a past interview I did, and we were kind of talking about how like horror movies have kind of become repetitive and predictable. And so, you know, they have the jump scares in there and everything, but then it's kind of like, okay, I already saw that coming, or, you know, like I could easily predict the end. And so it's not really a surprise to it. There's nothing that's really pulling me into the story. And sometimes the storytelling isn't really that great either because there's too much focus on the scares and just trying to be as gory or as disgusting as possible. But it's like what is at the core of the storytelling? If it's not emotional, if it's nothing that people can really relate to, if it doesn't have a universal theme, and I feel like this does, it's just dramatized basically. So I think there's so many women especially, but there's a lot of people who can relate to not liking their mother-in-law or, you know, like marrying into a family and you're like, I love my partner, but your family I don't like, or, you know, somebody in your family that you don't get along with. I think that's, you know, so many people can relate to that. So they're playing off of that, of course. And the fact that she's like pregnant and that she has a newborn. And so, like, her hormones are all over the place. And then now she has this mother in law that's probably trying to like take over and tell her what to do. And I don't know, it doesn't really show all the way like what her husband's reaction is, but I'm assuming that maybe he doesn't stand up to her the way that he should, or he doesn't maybe protect her as much. I don't know, but clearly, you know, it's going to be an issue either way because she's demonic. It's past her just being a bitch. It's like she's crazy, right? And racist, apparently. So I kind of like that they're playing off of that, and I feel like that will be fun to watch and to see that unravel. Like, I'm excited to see it. Honestly, like I said, I'm biased because I'm a fan of Brandy, and it's cool to see her in like a horror movie again. And it's cool to see like a black lead in a horror movie. I feel like we don't get that a lot. We've gotten that in Jordan Peele movies, which I really love, but um, I feel like we don't get that a lot. So this is cool. I'm excited for this. Thank you guys again for watching and for tuning in. I appreciate all the likes, comments, and subscribes. Also, be sure to follow me if you're not just subscribing to my channel, but follow my Instagram page and my Facebook page. I have all my social links in the description below. Or if you want to keep up with me that way, you can do that as well. I will see you guys next time. Bye.